time for our science activity, we're going to put eggs in different liquids and see what happens. So, the first thing we need to do is get some eggs, some glasses, use mugs or whatever you have, some water, vinegar, and I'm going to use some Coke. Okay, so in our first glass, we're going to put just an egg. So we're not going to do anything to it. It's just going to sit here so that we can see the egg, how it started, and we'll be able to compare the egg, how it started, to how the others change. Some of them might not. We just have to see. So I'll put an egg in the next glass, and I'm going to put the same amount of liquid into each of the glasses, but just different kinds of liquid. So first we'll do water. We'll put 1 cup of water into the glass with an egg, and we'll be able to tell this is water. It's clear, doesn't have a lot of bubbles, but I'll mark it just in case it looks a little bit like the vinegar. Alright, the next one, I'm going to take an egg and put it into this glass, and I'm going to take a cup of Coke and see what happens when we put Coke in with the egg. It's going over. So it looks like we have more Coke than we have water, but really we don't. Once the bubbles go down, they're just full of air, and we'll have the same amount. Okay, the last one is we're going to add vinegar. So I'll put my egg in, and if you do this, you got to put your egg in really gentle because these are raw eggs. And if you put it in hard, then you'll have to start over because your egg will be broken. Alright, so I'm going to get 1 cup of vinegar and pour that in. Now, I want you to think about what's going to happen. So let's start with this. What do you think is going to happen to the egg that has only air around it over the next 2 days probably? What do you think is going to happen to the egg that has Coke around it? What do you think will happen to the egg that has water around it? And what do you think will happen to the egg that has vinegar around it? So what I want you to do is I want you to think about it first. Then I want you to talk about it with someone at your house. This is actually 2 days after I started, so we skipped a day in between checking because that day got busy for me. Okay, so again, here is the egg that we put in. It was just touching the air and the glass. Nothing really happened to it. It's still hard, it's still smooth. This is the egg that we put in water. I'm going to get it out. Same thing, nothing happened to it. It's still hard, it's still smooth, it's just wet. This is the egg that we put in the Coke. So, it was colored the last time, but then it got more spots and more color this time. This is our egg that was in vinegar. It completely ate away at the shell. It's squishy like a bouncy ball, and I'll show you when I bounce it. Okay, ready? I'm going to drop it on here and you'll see it bounce. So it bounces around. It doesn't break. Try to show you the yolk of the egg through the membrane on the outside and the part of the egg that is the white. So let's see if I can do that. There. You can see it pretty well. You can see a yellow circle with white around the edges. That's the yolk of the egg. So the shell is the hard part around it. This inner membrane allows everything that's inside to stay inside. It's kind of like our skin. And the shell is kind of like a turtle shell. A turtle has skin, but it also has a shell. So here's one last look of the eggs in order from air, water, Coke, and vinegar. That's pretty neat how different they look. You can try this science project at home. You'll need cups, water, vinegar, Coke if you want to try it. If you don't have Coke at your house, that's okay. You can use the water, the vinegar, and the air. You'll need 3 or 4 eggs, and you'll need a spoon to get them out of. Remember, once the shell is away from the egg, you will not want to squeeze it too hard or poke it too hard, because then the insides will come out. Before we go, I want to show you that if we open it, it's still just a normal egg inside. So I'm taking a pair of scissors and snipping off the end, and you'll see that all the gooey inside was still there. Once the yolk and the white has come outside of the membrane, so you can see that what is left kind of looks like an empty balloon, right? I can stick my finger through the hole, and you can see that is the membrane that keeps everything in and helps keep things out. Pretty cool, huh?